Have you noticed that every morning starts with the same thing, a cough, a throat full of sticky mucus, and that feeling like something is just stuck there? It's not painful exactly, but it's uncomfortable. It lingers. And even after a warm drink or a few minutes upright, it still doesn't fully go away. For many older adults, this has quietly become part of their daily routine. But here's the thing, not many people talk about it. It's treated like one of those normal aging things you're just supposed to live with. And that's exactly why we're having this conversation. You see, this kind of mucus buildup often has very specific causes, and many of them are treatable. But most folks don't know what those causes are. They try cough drops, allergy meds, or drink more water, yet nothing changes. That's why in this video, we're going to walk through the 5 most common medical reasons seniors deal with mucus every single day. These aren't guesses. These are real explanations backed by science, doctors, and real-life experiences. And we're going to explain each one in a way that makes sense, without the complicated terms. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. And if you have any natural health tips of your own, feel free to share those too. Someone else might really benefit from hearing what's worked for you. Reason 1, post-nasal drip from aging sinuses. Let's start with something that surprises a lot of people, post-nasal drip. You might have heard the term before, but not really known what it means or how it connects to all that morning mucus. Well, here's the simple version. As we get older, the inside of our nose and sinuses go through changes. The lining gets drier, and the tiny little hairs inside your nose, called cilia, that are supposed to sweep mucus out, they slow down. They don't work as efficiently as they used to. So instead of moving smoothly through your nose, the mucus starts to drip slowly down the back of your throat, especially while you sleep. Now, imagine that happening every single night. While you're lying down, gravity pulls that mucus down your throat. And by morning, it's sitting there, thick, sticky, and annoying. That's why so many people wake up feeling like their throat is coated in something, or they have to clear it before they can even sip their coffee. And the frustrating part? It's not from being sick. It's not a cold. It doesn't come with a fever or sneezing. It just hangs around, day after day, month after month. Some people try over-the-counter sprays, but the truth is, certain nasal sprays can actually make this worse if they dry out your nose too much. Others think it's allergies, but when nothing changes through the seasons, they're left confused. The real cause might be something as simple as dry air in your bedroom or sleeping completely flat on your pillow. There are some gentle things you can do to help. Using a small humidifier in your room at night can add moisture back into the air. Drinking a warm glass of water with lemon in the morning helps loosen that mucus. Even propping yourself up with an extra pillow so your head is slightly elevated can make a difference. It doesn't need to be dramatic, just a gentle slope to keep things from dripping back. And let's not ignore the emotional side of it. Many older adults tell me they feel embarrassed about constantly clearing their throat. Some avoid talking too much in the morning. Others skip social events just to avoid the discomfort. But you don't have to quietly suffer through it. Understanding that this is a common and manageable issue is the first step. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body just needs a little support, and that support starts with noticing what's really going on. Reason 2, hidden acid reflux. Now, here's one that really surprises a lot of people. Your mucus might not be coming from your nose or lungs at all. It might be coming from your stomach. Yes, really. There's a type of acid reflux called silent reflux that doesn't feel like the usual heartburn most of us are familiar with. You don't feel burning in your chest. You don't feel sick to your stomach. But your body still reacts, and one of the most common reactions is, you guessed it, mucus. Here's how it works. When you lie down at night, especially after eating, a small amount of stomach acid can slowly creep up into your throat. You might not feel it happen. You might not taste it. But your throat does. It gets irritated. And to protect itself, your body creates mucus to coat the area and calm the irritation. That mucus builds up overnight. So when you wake up in the morning, it's sitting there, making you cough, clear your throat, or feel like something's stuck. This happens more often in older adults because the small muscle that's supposed to keep your stomach contents from coming back up, called the esophageal valve, weakens with age. When it's not closing tightly enough, acid slips through. Add in a big dinner or lying flat right after eating, and it's even more likely to happen. The trouble is, most people don't connect this to reflux because they're not feeling that classic burn. Instead, they think it's allergies, a cold, or just old age. I once spoke with a gentleman who said he'd been clearing his throat every morning for over a year. No other symptoms, just that. His doctor eventually suggested he sleep with the head of his bed slightly raised and avoid eating within 3 hours of bedtime. Within 2 weeks, the problem nearly disappeared. Emotionally, this kind of hidden cause can be exhausting. You try everything, cough drops, steam, allergy pills, but nothing works because the real problem is deeper. It can make you feel like you're doing something wrong or that your body is just breaking down. But once you understand that this is a treatable condition, not a mystery, you can take real steps to feel better. Try this: avoid acidic or spicy foods at night, eat smaller portions for dinner, and keep your head slightly elevated while you sleep. And if the mucus keeps returning, talk to your doctor, not just about heartburn, but specifically ask about silent reflux. Because the solution might not be more medicine, it might be changing when and how you eat. And sometimes, that's all your body needs. Reason 3: dry indoor air. Let's talk about something that's easy to overlook but affects almost every older adult I've spoken to: the air inside your home. You might not notice it at first, but if your home's air is too dry, especially at night, your body starts to react. And one of the first ways it responds is by producing more mucus. Here's why this happens. As we age, the natural moisture in our nose, throat, and lungs decreases. Our mucous membranes get drier, and the tiny hairs that help clear out irritants slow down. So when the air around you is also dry, like in a heated room in winter or an air-conditioned room in summer, it makes things worse. Your body sees that dryness as damage, and to protect your airways, it sends out more mucus. But instead of helping, it just builds up, making your throat feel sticky, your nose stuffy, and your mornings full of coughing. This kind of air isn't rare either. Most homes in the US, especially in colder or hotter regions, rely on heating or cooling systems that suck the moisture out of the air. And if your bedroom doesn't have a humidifier or a source of moisture, that dry air hits you all night long. You might not feel it while you sleep, but your throat certainly does. I remember hearing about a woman who had tried everything to fix her morning cough: different teas, cutting dairy, even new pillows. Nothing worked. But when her grandson gifted her a small humidifier for Christmas, she started using it every night, and within days, her mucus issue got better. That's how powerful air quality can be. Now think about your own space. Do you wake up with a dry mouth or throat? Do you drink water first thing in the morning because your mouth feels coated? That could be a clue. And it's not just about comfort, it's about your health. Dry air can also make mucus thicker, which means it's harder to clear, and it can trap dust and bacteria. That raises your risk of getting sick, too. So here's what you can try. Place a humidifier in your bedroom. Even a bowl of water near your radiator can help. Drink a full glass of water before bed and right when you wake up. Add indoor plants that release moisture into the air. These are small steps, but they tell your body, you're supported. You don't have to fight so hard. When your environment helps you breathe better, your mornings feel lighter. And that can change the tone of your entire day. Reason 4: certain medications and underlying conditions. Now let's look at something many people don't think about: your medications. Yes, those pills you take every day to manage blood pressure, allergies, or sleep might be quietly contributing to your morning mucus problem. And it's not because they're bad medications, it's because some of them have side effects that make your body drier than it should be. And when that happens, your body tries to protect itself the only way it knows how, by making more mucus. Let's break it down. Certain medications, like antihistamines, diuretics, also called water pills, and some blood pressure medications, can dry out your system. They reduce fluids in your body, which is helpful for certain conditions, but not always great for your throat, nose, and lungs. Your mucus becomes thick and sticky instead of thin and smooth. That makes it harder to clear in the morning. And that's why even after sleeping well, you still wake up feeling like something's caught in your throat. Now, it's not just medications. There are some underlying health conditions that also lead to this issue. Things like chronic bronchitis, COPD, or even mild seasonal allergies that don't go away with time can all trigger your body to keep producing mucus. And if no one connects the dots, you're left coughing every morning, wondering what's going on. Here's the tricky part: when you've been on the same medication for a long time, it's easy to forget to ask, could this be the reason? I once spoke to a man in his 70s who had been taking a common allergy pill every night for years. No one told him it could be drying out his throat and making his mucus worse. When he brought it up with his doctor, they adjusted the dose and time of day he took it, and the morning cough almost vanished. Emotionally, this one can be frustrating. You're doing everything right, you're taking your meds, staying hydrated, maybe even using a humidifier, but you're still struggling. And when no one tells you it could be your prescription, it can start to feel like a personal failure. But it's not. It's just a missing piece in the puzzle. So here's what you can do. Review your medications with your doctor or pharmacist. Don't just mention the mucus, tell them when it happens, how it feels, and what you've tried. Ask if any of your current prescriptions could be contributing. And if you have other symptoms, shortness of breath, wheezing, or fatigue, make sure to bring those up too. Because sometimes, solving this issue isn't about adding more treatments. It's about adjusting the ones you already have. Reason 5. Nighttime habits that trigger mucus buildup. Sometimes, the reason for your morning mucus isn't what's going on inside your body, it's what's happening in your routine, especially at night. Many older adults have small habits that seem harmless but can quietly lead to mucus building up overnight. And the thing is, most people don't realize the connection because it doesn't feel like anything's wrong at the time. But by morning, you wake up coughing, clearing your throat, and wondering why it's happening again. Let's talk about a few of these common habits. Eating dinner too late is a big one. When you have a meal and then lie down soon after, your digestive system doesn't have time to fully process the food. And when you're lying flat, your stomach is more likely to send small amounts of acid upward, especially if you've had something heavy or acidic, like pasta with tomato sauce, chocolate, or a glass of citrus juice. That small bit of acid might not cause heartburn, but it does irritate your throat, leading to, yes, more mucus. Another common habit is sleeping completely flat. For decades, we've been told to lie on our backs or sides with one pillow. But as we age, our digestive system changes, and lying flat can make reflux more likely, even if you don't feel it. A gentle incline, just a few inches, can make a big difference by helping gravity keep stomach contents where they belong. Even something like not drinking enough water before bed or first thing in the morning can affect the thickness of your mucus. When your body is slightly dehydrated, mucus becomes sticky and harder to clear. That's why some people feel like they have to keep coughing and clearing for an hour or two after waking up. Now, here's what makes this point so important. These habits are often things people don't think twice about. You eat when it's convenient. You lie down when you're tired. You assume it's just part of getting older. But these little patterns add up, and your body responds. It tries to protect itself by creating mucus, but that ends up making your mornings feel heavy and uncomfortable. You don't need to make dramatic changes. Just start small. Try eating dinner earlier, maybe around 5:30 or 6 instead of 8. Add a second pillow or get a wedge cushion to raise your upper body a bit. Keep a glass of water by your bed and take a few sips if you wake up during the night. These aren't big steps, but they're smart ones. And when you shift your habits, your body often follows with surprising relief. Because sometimes, the answer isn't in medicine, it's in the little things you do before your head hits the pillow. If you've been starting your mornings with that same old routine, cough, clear, swallow, repeat, it's easy to think, well, I guess this is just how it is now. Maybe someone even told you it's normal at your age, or maybe you've stopped mentioning it altogether because no one seems to have real answers. But let me say this clearly, just because something is common doesn't mean it's normal. And it definitely doesn't mean you have to live with it. What we talked about today, post-nasal drip, hidden reflux, dry air, medication side effects, and nighttime habits, these are all real, physical causes of that daily mucus problem. And more importantly, each one has a way forward. You're not stuck. You're not doing something wrong. Your body is just asking for a little more support, a little more care, and a few thoughtful changes. If something you heard today made sense or gave you a bit of clarity, I'd love for you to leave a comment below and share it. What's one thing you're going to try? Your story might help someone else find relief, too. Thank you for being here with me. If this video helped you, feel free to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. We're here to support you, and we'll be back soon with more practical, gentle health guidance that truly respects where you are in life. Until then, take good care of yourself. You deserve it.